Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and a puzzle that has been recommended to us many times over the last few days by some very, very brilliant solvers and setters. And it's got one of the shortest rule sets of any puzzle we featured, actually. It's a very beautiful looking puzzle as well. It sort of feels like it might be a sideways face with a smile. But it's called Most Squares. It's by Henter. And the basic idea is that, well, I'll read the pertinent part of the rules. We'll go through this properly when we do the rules properly. But it says, digits on a line sum to the square of the largest digit on that line. So that's what we're going to have to do. So I think we're going to have to do a bit of arithmetic to figure this out. But it's a beautiful, it's a very, I love the elegance of it. And it's got 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty over on Logic Masters. So I'm hoping it's going to be borderline approachable. But amongst other people, Codec, who I have the greatest respect for, said something like, "It is just extraordinary that this puzzle wants to exist." I love the idea that a puzzle wants to exist. It sort of has a consciousness. It pops up and it goes, "Yep, now I've achieved my goal." Anyway, we'll get to the rules properly in a moment or two's time. But what else can I tell you about? I've got loads of things that I think are interesting. So apologies if none of you do. We'll start off by saying that over on Patreon we have this brand new competition that is live at the moment. Let's go over there. Oh yeah, here we go. Back to the Future. This Blobz Sudoku hunt. I think I've got another picture there. Look, here we go. You can see lots and lots of puzzles. It's just a fabulous thing, this. And let's see how the solving counts are going. So yesterday, so it only went live at 4 p.m. on the 1st of September. And we'd had 51 solvers of all the puzzles as of yesterday when I refreshed this. Let's see where that is now. So it was 51, 121. It's winged over 1,000 for the first puzzle. It's just brilliant. 121 people have already solved the whole thing. It beggars belief. It really does. But do get involved in this. It's a couple of bucks a month to join us over on Patreon. There's lots of extra content. There's my 7 videos in which I tackle a recent listener crossword. There's Mark's connections videos. Lots of extra stuff. We try to make it as good as possible over there. And something else. I need to announce the winner of last month's competition. So, drum roll. I can't do that. Not really. Anyway, there's my attempt at a drum roll. The winner of last month's competition is Michael Penny. So, Michael, I am going to drop you an email after I finish recording this video and see whether you'd be interested in solving a puzzle with me, and we'll record it and hopefully it might become a video in due course. So, Michael, very well done. Congratulations. And and good luck to everybody in this month's competition, which closes on the 20th. Now, the next thing, actually I can click this button, I think, is that Mark and I did a podcast with The Verge. The Verge is a big thing. And we were on the VergeCast. So we did an interview with Alison. You can sort of see a bit of it there about the popularity of online games in the current world. So I'll try and remember to put a link to that in case any of you like to listen to it. That is going on. If you've got any interest in Mark's Wordle videos, don't miss today's. I won't say any more, but Mark's Wordle video today has a unique property. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. I'll never remember. Now, other than that, because I was on holiday last week, I have still got birthdays to catch up on. So if I missed your birthday, many apologies. I'm working my way through them, but let's go through some of them now. Aidan, your fiance Tyler wrote to me about your birthday on August the 28th over there in Ontario. I'm sorry I missed it, but Tyler also wanted me to shout out the good friend Bryson. I think all 3 of you watch, actually. Bryson loves chocolate cake. Well done, Bryson. And Aidan watches the videos because he finds that they have some sort of ASMR type quality. I don't know about that. I did many years ago, and it was a mistake in hindsight. We'd had a bit of a run, and I've been watching some ASMR videos, which I quite like, actually. And I thought, I'll do an ASMR edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And I sort of attempted to whisper. I can't even remember if I had a good microphone at that. But that still is on the channel somewhere. But yeah, it was probably the most polarising video that we've ever released. Anyway, Aidan, I hope you had a great birthday. Next, Alex. Oh, yeah, this is for today, I think. Alex, you've turned 27 today, and I know this not only because your dear friend Julie wrote to us, telling us that she misses you. I think she's just moved to live in Colorado. But also, Alex, your sister Lily wrote to us as well. And I'm pretty sure that you are the same Alex, because I have it in a vague back of my mind that Julie has mentioned Alex and Lily in a previous email. I hope I've got that right. But Alex, apparently today is the closing day of your moving into a new home. Your house purchase is completed today. What a present. I hope it goes fantastically well. Many congratulations on that, and I hope you have a brilliant birthday. And I wasn't late. I don't think I'm late with that one, so that's good. I am late with the next one. August the 26th. It was Anu's birthday. And Anu, thank you for the book recommendation. You recommended to me a book called The Prophet by Khalil. Is it Gibran? I think I don't know if I've read that before, but I am familiar with some of the quotes from it, I think. And I will just mention, I think it's the most precious present you can give somebody, a book recommendation, because if you give someone a good book recommendation, think about how many hours of pleasure it gives just because you have to read it and you're going to have the experience of reading. That's great. And then think about all the memories. If it really is a good book recommendation, all the memories it then creates for that person. I mean, it's the most fabulous thing to do. So thank you very much, Anu. I hope you had a great birthday. Next, August the 31st, it was Morten's birthday over there in Denmark. I know this because your wife Benti wrote to us, describing you actually in quite phenomenal terms, Morten, as an amazing selfless man who is always helping others. Morten, I hope you had a great birthday. I hope there was some chocolate cake for you. Next, I'm not sure when this one was, but I'm pretty sure I'm late with it. Petra, your boyfriend Simon wrote to me from the Czech Republic, telling us that you are studying literature and you've never found Sudoku interesting until you discovered Cracking the Cryptic. Who'd have thought? And Simon was kind enough to say that it is a surprise that the world needs more of two men doing puzzles. Well, I'm not sure everyone would agree with you, but Simon, thank you for the kind words. And Petra, I hope you had a brilliant birthday. Now, two more. Let me not miss these out. Sophie, you've turned 22 on September the 1st. And I know this because your friends Tori and is it Idal or Idal? Idal, I think it might be. It could be Idal. I don't know. I'm not sure. But Sophie, hopefully you know of whom I speak. And this was apparently, you said this would be a nice present for me to say happy birthday to you. I'm sorry I'm late with the wishes. I hope you had a great birthday. I hope there was good quality and highly iced cake, of course. And then finally, I'm late with this one. August the 28th. Tommy, it was your 35th birthday over there in Finland. And I know this because your brother, is it Henri? It could be Henry, but I'm going to go with Henri. It looks like a French spelling, but in Finland, I'm not sure how that would work. But your brother wrote to me anyway, and told me that both of you use these videos or my videos to go to sleep. I am a boring man, and I never meant that to be the effect of these videos, but it is apparently a thing. But Henri or Henry was making you the chocolate cake, Tommy. I hope it was good, and I'm sorry I'm late with the birthday wishes. And that's all the news. Let's have a look at Most Squares by Henter. I've sort of already done the rules. They're not going to take very long to read. The rules are normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Digits on a line sum to the square of the largest digit on that line. So without thinking about this at all, if that was a 6 and that was the highest digit on this line, what does that mean? So that means all the digits on this line have to sum to 36. Yeah, okay, so you can repeat digits on the line, can't you? There's not going to be any... You have to. That line's more than 9 cells long, I think. Yeah, so we just have to make sure all of these add up to 36. Including the 6 itself. So actually only 30. That's already quite interesting. Anyway, do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. We've got Scooby-Doo here. Scooby-Doo's made an appearance. I don't really know how to do this. How should we approach it? Is it long lines or short lines? Let me think this through. So what we're saying is... Yeah, I mean this line is troubling, isn't it? The highest digit, I mean, you can't put high digits on it. Yeah, it's a bit weird, actually. I mean, imagine that the highest digit on that is 4. Then the digits on the line add up to 16, which prima facie feels okay, doesn't it? And you've got a 4 on the line, so you then need the other 2 digits to add up to 12. But you can't use a digit higher than 4. If 4 is the highest digit on the line, therefore you can't do it. So 4, it can't be 1. You can't put 3. It can't be 1. 1 is not possible. If it was 3, 3 squared is 9. So the other 2 digits... Oh no, no, that doesn't work either. It would have to be 3 3s. Because the other 2 digits would then have to add to 6. Now, but without using a digit that's higher than 3. So you couldn't use 1 5, you couldn't use 2 4, and you couldn't use double 3 because you can't put 3 3s on the line. So I think this might have to be 2s. So if 2 is the highest digit on the line, 2 squared is 4. Yeah, then what we could do is put a 2 and 2 1s on the line. And that must be how this line works, I think. And now this line might be where we're meant to look next. That line now has at least a 5 on it in box 9, because it can't have 1 in any of those cells. So this line adds up to at least 25. So if 5 was the biggest digit on this, it would be 25 minus 5, so 20 for the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the other 7 cells would have to sum to 20. So let's just imagine that's a 5 for a moment. These, but they could have another 5 in them. Actually, that's not that difficult, is it? You could easily do that. I mean, I think these could be 1. Maybe they can't quite be 1, 2, 3, 4, but they could be close to it. And these can be very little. That could be a 1. 1, 2, 3. That could be 6. So you can really keep this down. Okay, so maybe it's not this one then. That's a 5-cell sequence. That's even longer than this one. So without a 1 on this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this line, actually that's not terribly surprising, is it? What we're saying is that the digits on this line add up to at least 36. But again, we could put very low numbers in the in the wings, couldn't we? 36. If that was 10 and that was 10, that's 20. So these would have to be... No, maybe that doesn't work actually. Yeah, because the minimum here is 10. if these were the triangular number for 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, these could be 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's 20 is the absolute minimum for those. But now the minimum for these cells is actually 20, I think, because these could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how do I do that maths relatively swiftly? It's only because I know that the triangular number for 6 is 21. So I can sort of see that that looks like that's a 21 total. And I'm just deducting 1 from it. So the minimum these are is 20. So the actual minimum for the line is 40 now. So we can't have a 6 as the highest digit. So the highest digit on this line is 7, 8 or 9. Which means the line is adding up to 49, 64 or 81. There's a knowledge bomb. Oh no, I was going to say 81 might be impossible, but actually 81 looks like it could be easily done. If we go for maximums, on the other hand, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's already 30, 60. So you only need 21 there. And we know that can add up to a lot more than that. Okay. So maybe what I meant to do is focus on the... I started with a short line. That's the next shortest line, isn't it? Maybe... It might be the Scooby-Doo line. I'm not sure. I'm just going to have a quick think about this one. So this is a length 7 line. But it's got to have 5 different digits in box 1. So it must have a 5 on it. I mean, a 5 would be the smallest, biggest digit, if you see what I mean. It could have a 6, 7, 8 or 9 on it. But the absolute minimum is it must have a 5 on it, if these digits were all absolutely minimumed. So how does that work? If it was 5, we'd have 25 on the line without using any digit higher than a 5. And we'd have 15 in this box, wouldn't we? So these two digits... Hang on, that's interesting. So those two digits would have to add up to 10 without using numbers bigger than 5. So they'd have to be double 5. That's probably what this is going to be then. It's going to be double 5 there and a 5 here. But that is by no means proved. Because what would happen if this had 6 on it? Or a higher digit than that? If it has, let's just put 6 in there, just so we can stabilize what we're thinking about. So now what we're saying is we've got 36 is the total for the line. So 30 is the total for these digits. But we can't have more than 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 14 there. Oh, that's nowhere near. Right, I see. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's really cool, actually. So one way of seeing this is to say whatever the highest digit is in this portion of the grid, or on this line generally, you can repeat that digit 3 times by plonking it into those positions. That is possible. Let's use green. So what that's going to require, though, is that these digits clearly are going to have to be lower than that biggest digit. So if we do think about 6, for example, then that's 36. They're all going to be 6s at best. So these are going to have to add up to 18 without using the digit 6 again. 5, 4, 3 and 2 is only 14, and the problem's only going to get worse the bigger this number gets, because now we've got 49, but those are only going to be 3 lots of 7, so we're going to have these adding up to 4 lots of 7, without using the digit 7 or repeating a 7. It's going to explode as a problem. So actually this line, this line is absolutely forced. It's weird. So it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We cannot put a bigger high digit on here, and therefore we know 5 times 5 is the sum for the whole line, which is 25. We know this is 15, so we have to have double 5 here, which forces the 5 here, and we are actually... So this is the line we should have started with, not this one, I think. This is a very strange rule. It's really interesting, actually. So Scooby-Doo's ears now are what? Oh, hang on. Have I made a mistake? Because now Scooby-Doo's far too big, isn't he? Because, I mean, even if I keep 9 off Scooby-Doo, which I could just do by putting 9 in the corner, I've got 8 on Scooby-Doo. That feels like it's not going to work. So 64. 64 is the absolute minimum that I can make these cells sum to. And that would be, if there is no 9, this would be 21. And I can't, okay, so if I can't put a 9 on it, I could have 21 there. I could have 6, 7, 8 there. That's another 21. That's 42. So these squares would have to add up to 64, isn't it? So 22. Actually, that's not impossible, is it? Even without 9s in here. I suppose what you can't do, you couldn't have 8s in both of those, because then you couldn't put an 8 in there. So you could only have one more 8, one more 7, one more 6. But it's actually way more than you need. Because even if you only have 1 8, 1 7 and 1 6 into these, that's 21, 21, 21 is 63, and I've still got one more digit left. So 64 is very achievable. Right, okay, so maybe my instincts are completely wrong then. And 9 is possible here. So if we do go 9, then Scooby-Doo has to add up to 81. So we could have... I'm not really sure how to do this. You could, okay, let's just think about this. So let's max everything. So in this row, that could be 30, 6, 7, 8, 9. In that row, you could have 7, 8, 9. I'm avoiding thinking too hard about Sudoku. I'm just trying to do the basic maths. So 30, 7, 8, 9 is 24. So I'm on 54. That could be a 9. I'm on 63. And, oh, there you go. Okay, that can't be higher than an 8-9 pair, and that gets me to 80. And 80, knowledge bomb, is less than 81. So actually, right, okay, this is great. Well, not great, but it's something. 9 cannot be on Scooby-Doo. So Scooby-Dooby-Doo is not 9'd. There are no 9s on Scooby-Doo, but there is an 8. So Scooby-Doo sums to 64. And I've got 21 on Scooby-Doo already. And I can't put... So I can't put 9 on Scooby-Doo anywhere. So whatever these digits sum to, they can't be a 9 on Scooby-Doo. So 9 in box 5 is on the long line. And that means that the long line sums to 81. Yeah, but I think that's easy, isn't it? I think that's... I'm just wondering if what I'm meant to do now, this might be a mad thought. I think it's mad. I was just wondering whether there would be any value in trying to look at those together. that just totally ridiculous? I think it is. I mean, probably. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether that's required. It looks a bit terrifying to do it. You know, we'd sort of have a sextuplet there and then a sort of crossing sextuplet there as well. Let's see if we can do it without overcomplicating it. And then, if we can't, we'll overcomplicate it. Okay, let's start with Scooby-Doo. How do we get Scooby-Doo to be big enough if we can't put 9 on Scooby-Doo? How do we do that as a sort of... Okay, the maximum there is 6, 7, 8. Let's just think about that. So we've got an absolute maximum of 2 lots of 21 on Scooby-Doo, which is 42, which means that these have to be at an absolute minimum 22. But subject to the condition, well, actually we can't use 5 in either of these little dyads, can we? These dominoes can't have 5 by Sudoku, so we can't use 5. We could use 8, but if we did use an 8 in one of these, you couldn't use an 8 in both, because hopefully that's clear. But obviously if there's an 8 in that domino and an 8 in that domino, you can't put an 8 on Scooby-Doo's ears. And we definitely know this is 6, 7, 8. We've conjectured this might be 6, 7, 8, but it might be much lower total. So we can have 1 8. For the same reason we can have 1 7. Oh, okay. And if we can't actually have a 6 then. Yeah, that's quite interesting, because if you have an 8 there and a 7 there, for example, this digit is a 6. So now we can't have 6 in any of those squares. Whoa, 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 whoa. So the absolute maximum for Scooby-Doo then is going to be 8, 4 in one domino, which is 12. Oh, bobbins, there's 1 degree of freedom. There's 1 degree of freedom. That's very annoying. Yeah, because what you could do is have 4, 8 there, for example. That's possible. Now we know that this can't have 6 on it, or 7. Oh, sorry, it could have 7, but it could be, I think, 7, 4 as a maximum. And if I sum all of these together, what do I get? I think I get 65, but I might be wrong. I'm going to double check. So I get 21 plus 21 is 42, 54, and 11. 65. Yeah, that's what I got last time in my brain, and that's what's distressing, isn't it? So what does that mean? I don't know yet. Let me think this through. If there's 1 degree of freedom, so what would happen? Okay, here's something I hadn't spotted, but I have now spotted. I'm going to talk more about this section here. So we've worked out at an absolute maximum we can put 65 on Scooby-Doo. How could I reduce this total by 1? That would allow me to put 4, 8 and 4, 7 here. If I could make this equal 20. How could I do that? If this is 20 without using 9, it has to be 5, 7, 8. That's the only way of making 3 different Sudoku digits add up to 20 if 9 is not involved. And 5 cannot be here by Sudoku. That's beautiful. This is beautifully set. So this is 6, 7, 8. So this is 6, 7, 8. And now these two we've got to be very careful with, because I suspect you can't get away without one of these being 8. Yeah, so sorry, just to complete the thought there. If this wasn't, well, no, we have completed the thought. That cannot be made to be 20. It would be lower than 20, and that's impossible because I can't make these big enough. So, now what would happen if there wasn't an 8 in either of these dominoes? Then the maximum would be 7, 4 and 6, 4. Which is not enough, is it? That's 21. That's 3 lots of 21 in effect, which is 63, which is not enough. 63 is less than 64. So there is an 8 in either this domino or this domino, and that digit is not 8. Now what about 7? Does there have to be 7? And I think the answer is distressingly no. Because if instead of having 7, 4, we had 6, 4, that would be 10. And 10 and 12 is 22. Plus 42 is exactly the right total. So I don't know what this digit is, I'm afraid. There doesn't have to be a 7. So I've got to be really careful here. I don't know how to pencil mark these cells. I know there's an 8 in them. And I don't really know how to think about it even. I know it could be 8, 4, but the other one could be 7, 3, or it could be 6, 4, or it could be 8, rather than it being 8, 4, it could be 8, 3 in one of them. So, okay, sorry, I'm not thinking that's clearly enough about this, am I? So, okay, let's go. I wonder if it's this line then. Because this line I now know the total of in box 5. Yes, I'm going to use the secret to tell me that rather than doing it a different way. So the secret is something I share with only my very favourite people. But if you're watching this video, of course you're one of my favourite people. I'm going to tell you the secret of Sudoku. The secret of Sudoku is that this whole box, because of the rules of Sudoku, contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. If you sum the digits 1 to 9, you get 45. Now that's interesting because 1 plus 21 is 22. So this adds up to 23 by the secret. So 23, but we know that overall line adds up to 81. Oh goodness, is that 58? Yeah, 58. So 58 is the total for this section of the line. Hang on, I'm running out of good colours that I like using. And that section of the line. So the 2 blue area. See, that's quite interesting. No jokes. It is. It is, because the maximum that could be. Yeah, I was just thinking that there isn't the restriction here that that you can't have certain digits in blue. You can have any digit because 9's on the line. So, but the maximum those digits could be in theory is 6, 7, 8, 9. Although that's going to put severe pressure. You can't do that. I don't think you can do that. If this was 6, 7, 8, 9, these squares would have a maximum value of 4 plus 3. That won't work. That's got to be... Oh, this is huge then. Yeah. This is very beautiful. I'm not sure I'm right about this though, so that's why I'm just hesitating, because I don't want to make a mistake. But in theory, this blue tetromino here could be 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the maximum it could be. That's 30, isn't it? This is the same. That's another tetromino. Well, it's a slightly disjointed one, but that could be 6, 7, 8, 9. That's another 30. So in theory, blue in total could add up to 60, and we need it to add up to 58. So there's some freedom to play with. But the moment this couldn't be 6, 7, 8, 9, this would obviously, let's say we reduce that by 1 to 5, 7, 8, 9. Then, if this also couldn't be 6, 7, 8, 9, we would reduce both by 1, and that would use up all our degrees of freedom. And what I'm just noticing here is if I make this, all this, 6, 7, 8, 9, look what's happening in this row. What have we been putting into these cells? They can't now be, I think the maximum they can be is 3 and 4. And the maximum these can be is 3 and 4. And that's nowhere near enough. Remember, we need these to add up to 22, wasn't it? Or have I misdone my maths there? No, 22, that's correct. 22 is what I need. And these would add up to a maximum of 14. So, this, but let's be careful. Yeah, let's be careful, because if this was 6, 7, 8, 9, that could be 3, 4. But then this would have to add up to, so that's 7. So we need 15 here without using 9. Yeah, we can't, that can't be 7, 8. It's impossible. That's obviously going to break. That's going to put 7 and 8 into this cell. So yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for this to be 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't work for the same reason for this to be 6, 7, 8, 9. So neither of blues can be 6, 7, 8, 9. So they each must reduce by at least 1 in value. And now I think we're sort of zugzwanged into a good position. We have no wriggle room at all. Because this, therefore, is an absolute maximum of 5, 7, 8, 9. This is an absolute maximum of 5, 7, 8, 9. That gives 29 and 29, which is 58, which is the number we're looking for. We cannot reduce either of these by any more. So they both are 5, 7, 8, 9. Oh, hang on. Does that mean I might have missed some Sudoku opportunities here? I'm now noticing I've got 5s looking at these blue regions. So we don't need to we don't need to pencil mark this pentomino, do we? Okay. I know one of these is an 8 as well, don't I? So that must be somehow relevant. How do we do this then? I know there's a 5 in this domino. Golly gosh, it's really clever, this. Because even when you think you've made a good deduction, it doesn't just, it's not like Scooby-Doo, it's not rolling over and letting us tickle its tummy, is it? It is still being recalcitrant. Now, how do I do this then? I know there's an 8 in one of these, but I don't think I know there's a 7. And it doesn't look like I've got sort of quadruples forming in rows 3 or column 3. At least it doesn't feel like it is. I've got quadruples falling or forming. To me, I've definitely got a 5 in here. And Am I being a bit dumb here? I don't know. I apologise if I am. I'm not sure. I think I've got to think it out again. Do we know? Oh, I can't put 9 here in either situation. Oh, all right, let's hang on. Let's try something different then. I can't put 2 in here, can I? No, I can't. No way. Right, so let's recapitulate the logic. We know that these orange cells sum to exactly 22 without using a 9 and without using too many 8s or 7s or 6s. We must have an 8, we worked that out earlier. One of these is 8, and we could have a 7, but we can't then have a 6 as well, and we can never have a 5. So the maximum here was 8474, wasn't it? Now, is it possible that we could have 8274, for example? That only adds up to 21. I need 22. So no, I can't put 2 into orange. So where are 1 and 2 going in row 3? That's a good question. They can't go in orange. They can't go there by Sudoku. So one of them goes there and one of them goes there. No, what I was about to say doesn't work either. Golly gosh, okay. Right, so these digits, could I, 8374 is enough. I was wondering whether I could put a 3 here, but I can't. I think this could be 83, for example. So, okay, so I'm still struggling, I'm afraid. Wherever the 7 is here, if that's a 7, it's going to push 7 into here. I know one of these is an 8, isn't it? So whichever one of these is 8. Oh, yeah, I've got something. Yeah, so because one of those is an 8, and because I know orange contains an 8, there's a weird patterny thing going on. Patterny thing is the technical term for whatever this is, and I don't know what it is. But it means that 8, there must be an 8 in one of those 3 cells in column 3, and there must be an 8 in one of those 3 cells in row 3. There must. So there are no 8s in these cells. Which might be interesting. Because, oh yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, you are very clever, Henter. You are very clever. Because now where's the 8 in this tetromino? And the answer is, I don't know exactly, but it's in those cells. So that is no longer an 8. And if that's no longer an 8, I've got a 6-7 pair here. This is an 8, and now the 8 in orange is here. And okay, that's good, but does it do what we need it to? I'm not sure. I know that the 8 is either going with 3 or 4, is my belief. Because if it went, we've worked out it couldn't be 8-2 because this couldn't be big enough. So this is either 8-4, which would require this to add up to 10, which is going to require this to be something either 7-3 or 6-4. Or this is 8-3 adding up to 11, and then this is going to have to be 7-4. Oh, but that couldn't be 7-4. Yeah, there's an X-swing on 7s and 8s, isn't there? Yeah, that's the thing I could have noticed. That's lovely. That's a much easier way to see it. Yeah, because this contains 7 and 8, and this contains 7 and 8, that is a 7-8 pair in row 1. And now this domino hasn't got 7 or 8 on it, or 5. It must have 6 on it, or we can't make it high enough. And the most we can make it now is 6 and 4, which is 10. We need orange overall to add up to 22. So this has to be 8, 4, and that is where equilibrium lies. I was a bit slow to that, but I have got it now. Oh, and now we're going to cook with gas, are we? Because now, well, we might not. Oh, now that is a 3. That is a 3 by Sudoku. And these digits are something. 129 maybe? 129. So this isn't 1 or 2. That isn't 1. Oh, that's a naked single. There's a 9 we've just found in the grid. This is a 1-2 pair. This is a 1-2 pair. This is a 3 or a 4. Good grief. This is very, very clever. I'm not sure. What's it meant to be? 2 stars. It feels quite tricky for that. Oh, this isn't 4 now. So, okay, that's 2, 3. That's 1, 2, or 3. And this is either all going to need to get resolved by Sudoku or by the line that we've not really thought about yet. I think I'm going to rely on... Yeah, look, Sudoku's going to do some things for me. Yes, okay. The X-wing doesn't work in the same way down here because of this cell sticking out from sort of columns 2 and 3. But still there has to be a 7 in one of those 2 cells. That is definitely true. There has to be a 9 in one of these cells. That is also true. So 3 and 9 have to be in yellow here. So is that useful? 6, there's a little... Where does 6 go in column 6? It's got to go into one of those 2 cells. Which might be interesting. I'm not sure. 8 has to be in one of those 3 cells. And I don't want to look at this line. I'm resisting it. Do I have to? I might do. How does this line work then? What have we got? We've got an 8 length line. Okay, I mean it's very clear it hasn't got a 9 on it. If it had a 9 on it, it would sum to 81. And the maximum they could be would be 30, and the maximum they could be would be 30, even ignoring the 8 here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is not going to work. And actually, for that reason, neither is 8. So 8 in this box cannot go on the line. So 8's in one of those 3 cells, which might... Oh, 8 can't go on... Oh, that's gorgeous. Good grief. 8 can't go on the line anywhere because it can't add up to enough. So now I've got an X-wing of 8s between boxes 6 and 9. The effect of which is really to say, where is 8 in column 9? Look, because it can't go here and it can't go here now. So it's got to be in one of these 2 cells. And if it was here, you couldn't put 8 on the blue where it must be. So that's 8. That's 7. So now, is it always pushing 7 onto this line? Let's think that through then. If we put 7 on this last line, then we know we're adding up to 49, don't we? And is that possible? I don't know. It probably is. How many? You could only put 2 7s on the line because we've got that a bit of row 9, haven't we, and a bit of column 9. So we could put 2 7s on the line. So the other digits would have to be a maximum of 6, 5, 4. Yeah. So the way 7 would have to work, or the maximum it could work with, is that, isn't it? Which is 2 lots of 15 plus, which is 30 plus 4. It's not enough. It doesn't work. 4, 5, and 6 add up to 15. So I've got 2 lots of 15, which is 30, plus 2 7s, which is 44. 44 is not as much as 49. So actually, yeah, it's just okay. So where is 7 in box 9 is a good question now. It can't go on the line, it's got to go in the corner. So 9, where's 9 in box 9? 9 definitely can't go on the line. So 7 is in one of those 3 cells. 7 is in one of these 2 cells. So where is... Oh, that's good. This is just brilliant. Where's 7 now in column 6? It's got to be here. So that's 7. That's 8. That's not 8. There's an 8 here. There's an 8. Ooh, whoopsie. Is this going to be okay? We can't put 8 on the line. So 8's got to go here. Now 6 is on the line in this column. So it better work for 6, or I've made a boo-boo. This is a 4-5 pair by Sudoku. These squares are 1, 3. Oh no, they're not. They're 3, 9. They're 2, 3, 9 actually. Oh, so there's a 2, 3. There's a 2, 3, 9 triple in row 6. So the 9 in that triple is on the right-hand side. So that can't also be a 9, or we'd have 2 9s in box 5. So those 2 digits are the same and go up there somewhere. Now we've got a 6 on this line. Let me just do the maths on this. So what's 543? 543 is 12. Yeah, okay, so I understand this line now. I've finally grokked it. Okay, it's got a 6 on it. It could have a maximum of 1 more 6 on it in this column. So let's give it a 6 there. That's 2 6s, which is 12. We need to get to 36, so we need 24 more. If we max the other digits in this column out, the ones that aren't 6, they could be 3, 4, 5, adding up to 12. I could do the same in this row with 3, 4, 5, adding up to 12. So the absolute maximum here is going to be this. And that maximum just gets us to 36. So it's a very clever line, this. It really is. And I don't quite know what it... Well, I do know a bit, actually. Because now I've got a 3, 4, 5, 6 quadruple in column 9. The 6 of which is on the right. So there's no 6s up here. I've got my 2, 3, 9 triple in this row. So that's come down to 4 or 5. These squares are 2, 8, 9 now. Oh, look, they're 2, 8, 9. I hadn't used this 8, had I? So that is now a 2, 9 pair. That's beautiful. So that's 9, that's 5. This isn't 5 anymore. Now, 3, 4, 5 here means this is 1 or 2. Which doesn't seem to do anything in column 3. We need to put a 9 into row 9. I will do that. This is now 1 or a 2. These squares are 3, 4 and 6 in some order. There's a 3, 4, 6 triple in column 1. So, whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. So, the 6 is obviously down here. So this can't be a 6. And these squares are 1, 2, 7, aren't they, to make the world add up, and that's definitely not a 2 because it's a 2, 3, 9 triple or a 1, so that's a 7. It feels like we might be colouring 1s and 2s in a moment, but let's resist it manfully for a little bit longer, and then whimperingly will cowardly go in that direction once I'm stuck, which might be any moment now. Where's 9? In column 9, there is the answer. Can't go here. So, yeah, so this is a 9 in box 4. That's forced. It's the only place 9 can go because of this 9 in row 6. This is an 8 by Sudoku, just using our pencil marks. I feel like we've got hundreds of 8s in this grid and we should only have 9. Oh, so I've got 8s in this little pattern here that are just unresolved as yet. Okay, so we're going to have to figure that out. Right. What about this column? So that's a 1 or a 2 in the corner, isn't it? These digits are... these digits are 3, 4, 6 as well. Does that help me? No, apparently it doesn't. 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't. Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to have to come up with something new. What about row 6 then? Because we've got 4, 5 and 6 left to place. That digit is... oh no, this digit is very important. Look at... yeah, let's look at row 6 slowly. We've got 2, 3, 9 here, 1, 7, 8. So we've got 4, 5 and 6 left to place. 4 and 5, that has to be a 6. So this is now a 4 or a 5. This digit is now a 3. Which means the central digit is a 2. Which is so often not the case. This is a 2 now. This is a 1. This is a 2. There's a 1 in one of those two. Oh no, we could just use the 2 there, Simon. Take the easy win. That's got to be in that order. That digit's very gettable, isn't it? That's a 3 by Sudoku. So this digit is not 3. This digit is 4. This digit's 1, 3, 4, 3, 4. Oh, whoops, that was interesting. That's a 4, 6 pair. And we can do the 1 and the 2 in box 7. We've got a 3, 6 pair here. That's no longer a 4. Oh, 3 is coming out of both of these because of this. So this is a 4, 5, 6 triple. The 2 here. Yeah, we're still going with Sudoku, actually. Where's 1 in box 8 is a legitimate question. It has to go there. This digit is 3, 4 or 6, I think. What about 2s? Can we do more with 2s? No, apparently not. Or 7s? 5. That's 5. That's 4. That's 4. That's 8. That's 8 now. And I get a 6, 7 pair. So that's going to be 7. We've not put 1 and 2 into row 4. So we can do that. 1, 2, 2, 9. 9, 5. Oh, is this gone wrong? No, it's still okay. 4 goes here. 6, 5, 4, 5. 4, 6. 3, 5. What's that digit? 6 by the looks of things. Okay. Now, if I haven't made a ricket, this is looking better, isn't it? 6 and 3 go into these squares. We've not put 4 into this row, so 4, 6, 6, 7, 7, 3, 3, 9. That is really stunning. What a stunning puzzle. Is it correct? So let's have a look. Oh, I don't know. Looks good. It does. Well, it was a very good puzzle, but it hasn't got the solution baked into it. So, okay, that's fine. I can check this after I close the video. I just have to check the maths. The software will have checked the Sudoku, so it's fine. It works as a Sudoku, but obviously what we need it to do, we need the lines to work. From a mathematical perspective, and I'm pretty sure they have to, because we did it so logically. I mean, I can see the Scooby-Doo works very quickly. 25. That one works. This had to be 81. I think the logic we did there was fairly clear. And then this, I think it must be correct as a result of what we did. And it was rather marvellous, wasn't it? Henter, take a bow. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.